I am Nimble with Numbers. Welcome to a special edition of Chalk Blocked. I'm joined as always by my co-host and founder of Chalk Block. I'm not the founder. Bo McBigtime is the founder. Welcome, Bo McBigtime. We have a special, amazing guest with us. This is like her 7th podcast in a row. Thank you for ending your long day with us. I hope you're punch drunk or at least a little drunk. The famous Steffi Smalls is here, everybody. Yeah. Welcome.
I said I was making it. I was like, I just want to get to Bo's show. I just want to get right there. We'll just finish it all. But yeah, it was a long day, honestly. But it's okay. It's fine.
I saw one of your podcasts. How many podcasts were you on before?
Which one did you see?
The 4 one with you and Matt. With you and Matt for a little bit.
That's actually like the 8:30 one. 8:30.
Okay.
So the first one was at 4, and then I did an 8:30, and then I jumped on after that was done, I jumped on Rum Boys, and then I came on here. So 4.
Ooh, that is 4. That is Mm-hmm. Cheers. I'm drinking water because I'm fat and I'm not allowed to drink alcohol.
And my mom brings me crystals, wondering why I'm single.
I'll tell you why, Mom. Because I got to work tomorrow.
Now, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk tonight about the slate. We got a 2-game slate. It's a small slate, but we're also just going to entertain and have fun and, mess about. And, we got 2. I want to start here. I'm an ex-Washington football team fan. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I love the burgundy and gold until about 2012, 13, maybe even 10. I kind of just fell out of love with them. 2015, I quit. I haven't been a fan for 6 years. It's terrible. Yes, it's terrible. But I kind of am here, Washington kind of based. We have Steffi, who's all Giants all the time. She's in love, we know, with their starting quarterback for now. Starting quarterback. Yeah. Then we have Bo McBigtime, who he's not in love with Dallas, that much. He loves Dak, but not as much as you love.
He actually loves Jerry Jones more.
Oh yeah, well he suckles at Jerry.
Jerry Jones is like, one time I saw Bo, he had a shirt that said "I love Jerry Jones" on it. It was wild.
I just admire that he has fewer wrinkles in his forehead than I do.
Well, it's called Botox. That's why people think I'm 18.
Oh,
joke's on you.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing that. So.
Yeah, well, it's actually not normal in Jerry Jones. So
nothing is normal about Jerry Jones.
No, nothing. Well, we're excited to have you on to talk about, a little bit about your background and what brought you into fantasy football. For me, I'm a free agent and rookie of the year this year candidate. Bo is too. You are as well. We're all kind of new to this game. What burned in you passion-wise that kind of made it so that you're like, I just want to do this. I just want to talk about it all the time. I can't stop anymore. How did that kind of come about?
So I don't want this to be like the saddest story ever, but is quarantine an answer? So basically I deactivated my Twitter, and then I got so bored over quarantine that I reactivated it. And I had like 150 followers in September, 200 in October. And then I think that I just started you start meeting these great people, and then you start getting more you're like, oh, I can be myself now. And especially as a girl, I don't have any friends. I mean, now I do. But prior to this, I didn't have any female friends. I kind of acted like I didn't like football. And then on Sundays, me and my mom would be like psychopaths watching the games. So it's been great. I mean, I played fantasy for so long. This was my stuff. So it was cool. I mean, for COVID, this was the best of COVID for me.
No, I love that. It's cool to hear that you couldn't contain it anymore. You were hiding. You're living a closet life as a football fan.
I'm telling you, my dorm room, in college, the last Super Bowl that the Giants won, I sat in my tiny twin XL bed with my Eli Manning jersey on, and I watched the Super Bowl on an 18-inch TV, and I cried my eyes out by myself because everyone else was doing normal things because no one gave a fuck about the Giants in Arizona. So I sat there and I cried in my twin bed, and I was so happy. I don't even know if I saw the actual game. An 18-inch TV across from my twin bed. Where are you gonna? No one saw anything.
You just knew that you had won.
Yeah,
and
I did. I just saw everyone excited.
She faintly saw the fade route to a wide open Blacksville Burris.
But yeah, I watched it alone because everyone was like, "You're a joke."
Well, you know what? I can relate to that. I had a Super Bowl party at my house when I was like 21, 22, and I got younger brothers and sisters who were a couple years younger than me, and they had friends over. We all had friends over. No one watched the Super Bowl. They talked. So I went in my bedroom on my little TV, and just watched it by myself. And people were like, "Hey, Scott, what's going on?" I'm like, "Shut up, you guys! I'm watching the game, and you guys all came over here and ruined it." Yeah. And they're like, "Didn't you invite us over?" I was like, "Yeah, I made a mistake." So
that's so funny. Yeah. I was like sneaking on my jersey. I'm like, "Okay, have fun at the pool party. See you later. Get the fuck out of my face." Like I feel sick. I'm like putting Eli's jersey on, like locking the door, like ready to rock. I'm like, this is sick. And I was crying the whole time alone. I called my mom. No one answered. It was a nightmare, but it was great. It's like one of my favorite memories because I remember being in that bed. It's so funny. Like the TV was this big. I swear to God.
So have you ever on Twitter, have you been introduced to Snacks from the Big Dogs Gotta Eat crew yet? Have you guys crossed paths?
Yeah. People think we should get married. I don't know what this.
No. It's not that. I'm not gonna play matchmaker. I'll just say this. He burns with that same passion. He got to make a wish, and it was to have Giants tickets, and he lost it because he was yelling at the Jets players.
Yeah, and his dad brings it up to him every time. He just brings it up all the time. His dad literally resents him for it.
Yeah, I would too.
He's like, that's what you fucking picked.
I love Snacks so much, and I love that
he's so cool.
He's himself. He's authentic, like you said. You get to be yourself. Well, we're really excited that you're here. We're really excited that
Bo is thrilled. He is gonna text you after this and say, "Please don't ever do that again."
Oh man. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I love Bo, and I'll probably listen to him. So
I know. I love Bo too. Just it's this thing that my mom taught me about reciprocation, and sometimes it just doesn't work out for everyone.
It does. Here's the thing with Bo. I love him firm and strong, but I don't love everybody that way. Like the truth is, most people.
I actually don't like a lot of people that way.
Yeah. There's a movie that's called The Wilderness Family, and in the Wilderness Family movie from like the 80s, a family lives in Los Angeles. They escape the smog to this outdoor world, and then they're handing over the cabin to the new family from the old family. And the broker is like, the guy who lived here. He didn't like most people. They said most people didn't like him, is what they said. And they go, but it didn't bother him because he didn't like most people. And I just that's always,
yes, I was gonna say
that always stuck with me. I was like, I like that guy.
Yeah. I like that guy. I am that guy.
That is like my burning spirit animal is that guy.
Yeah. No, and so
that's why I get suspensions on Twitter.
I saw that. What happened? What did the suspension?
I just called ESPN the W word because I thought I just didn't like their tweet.
A wanker? You called him a wanker.
I called them a whore.
Oh, a whore. Well, they are whores.
Well, I said, okay, hold on. I said, boo, you whore.
Okay.
And then I felt like it wasn't strong enough. So I said, shut your whore mouth again. And I think it's the shut your whore mouth that got me.
All you had to do was do the Anchorman gif.
Yeah. So I've been really controlling myself, not like fighting trolls. So then when it like comes, you gotta just let it out. And it happened. And I haven't been suspended in like 3 months. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I had never been suspended on this account until last week or a week before when those anti-maskers were attacking people in stores and Rex Chapman tweeted out, and I just tweeted out a gif of the sun, and I said, shoot these people into space. Yeah. And that got me 12 hours in Twitter jail.
Wow, that's pretty good. So before this, and Bo will actually appreciate this, the reason why I got suspended the first time was because someone asked me if I met the love of my life, and he was the greatest human I've ever met in my entire life, but I found out he was an Eagles fan. What would I do? So I said I would jump off a bridge head first. And I got suspended from Twitter for like 2 days. It was so bad.
I love that. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Because I can't love you, so I'll just jump. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it all. No, that's
very Shakespearean.
It is. It's deep. You know. Well, you know what?
Twitter just doesn't understand.
You don't get the emotion, Twitter. Who are you, Twitter? You're a robot. You don't know.
No, they don't know, and they don't understand the passions that burn within. You know,
Yeah.
and. We're talking about 3 very passionate people here. Let's turn our passion and our attention to the game on Sunday, both games. But I want to ask you, which game are you most excited about? So we can kind of frame our discussion around what we like and what we're thinking. So we can start with our guest, Steffi. What do you see kind of happening this weekend, and where is your most excitement lying?
So what's crazy is since probably almost every day this week, my opinion, like I was so confident on my picks going into this. So I was convinced that the Packers were going to win and the Bills were going to win. Now, as the week goes on, Vea's coming back. I think that Packers Brady game, that Rodgers Brady game is going to be tough. I think that's going to be these are both great games. Like I was telling my brother, I'm like, you better like sit your drunk ass down because these are going to be some of the best football games you ever fucking see. Like, I don't care what semester you are in college. Like, this is going to be good football. Yeah. You want to see good football? Watch these games. So I'm excited for Rodgers. I think he kind of has a lot to prove. I mean, he's essentially failed every single time he gets to this point. So for him to be having the success he's having, but I don't know. It's Brady. So
it is the first time he's had this opportunity at home, though.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, every time that they're supposed to meet, it doesn't work. I think the first time was with Sanchez. He knocked them out. And then again with Seahawks or something or whatever. But I don't know. Brady can do sneaky shit. That's the problem.
He can. And I heard, and I'm not just going to parrot what I heard, but I listened to the Roto World blurb today, and it was John Daigle, Hayden Winks was there, and they were talking to Warren Sharp. And one of the things that he kind of framed the game around, which I thought was interesting, was that Aaron Rodgers has blown 1 second half lead in 72 games that he's been leading at home. And so you're not going to beat him unless you're neck and neck or tied at halftime or right there. If he gets out to a big lead, it is curtains, really. And I mean, Tom Brady could do a comeback if anybody could. Like you said, it's Tom Brady. But that's something to watch. And I like that. I keyed in on that fact that Warren was kind of sharing.
When I say it's Tom Brady, I'm not saying anything that nice. It's just that it is Tom Brady. It's just
nothing needs to be said more than that. I mean, we've seen it for 20 years plus where, I mean, that's the kind of question you have to ask yourself is which of these guys do you actually want to bet against? And I don't want to bet against either one of them because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is from my hometown. We're from the same town.
Really?
And every time I bet against him, he rips my heart out because he's killed the Cowboys his whole life. He even gave me a wry smile when I saw him at a party after his rookie year. He beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and then when they had their extended week and a half off afterwards, he came back home and I ran into him and was like, "Hey, nice to meet you. I'm a Cowboys fan," and he just laughed.
No way. But I would expect nothing less. Like, he's definitely a douche is the thing.
Well, and he grew up a Niners fan, so he's grown up hating the Cowboys himself. And
his family hates him, so I would expect that.
His family doesn't hate him, but they don't get along. That's pretty.
Yeah, I know. So I only watched 1 season of The Bachelorette because I was living with my mom at the time. And I wanted to, pour bleach in my eyes, but it happened to be the one that Jordan Rodgers was on, and oh my God, were they negative about him? And I'm like, I think maybe he's just the black sheep, and you guys are the problem.
Yes. Well, he's the one that doesn't go to church, and it's a pretty religious family. Yeah, so that's where most of the divide comes from. Is they want him to settle down with a nice girl, and he's been with Olivia Munn, Danica Patrick, you name it, and so. Yeah, it's just his values and his family's values don't really line up anymore.
His nice girl is a football. That's it. He wants a Super Bowl win, man. Like, that's it.
Yeah, he really does. He's a
He
competitor.
deserves it.
And I went to the same JC as Aaron Rodgers, but I went at the same time Jordan. So Jordan was winning the JUCO National Championship when I was there.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, both got all the stories, man. He's living a life out there in Cali.
It's because NorCal puts out all the talent. I mean, Tom Brady's from NorCal too. I mean, it's in the water. That
all I have to offer you is Foles and Gronk. That's all I have for you.
Yeah, I got
Arizona Wildcats. Yeah,
that's all I got. That's all I got for you. I mean, they're.
You guys aren't even the same party school as ASU either. It's like, what are you guys?
Well, ASU is scary, but.
hey, I'll say this. I was at the Maryland Duke burning riots down when we lost to them in the national championship in 2002. Wow. I burned some books for my women's lit class in those fires. It was good. It was a rager, I'm not going to lie.
I was there when we made it to the Final Four. It was awesome.
Yeah. Whenever you can go out as a college, student into your campus, and then people are just burning stuff everywhere, it's crazy. Yeah.
Things are on fire and I'm wasted. This is sick.
And at one point I was out in the middle of the quad and there was a big fire going, and some crazy person, the fire department, by the way, was right there in the truck, just doing nothing because no one was unsafe. Okay. It was watching in case anything happened. And then some a-hole runs out from behind the townhome condominium and throws a propane gas tank into the fire. And so they watched that. As soon as that, they shot the water over the crowd, doused the whole fire, put it all. I ran behind a building. So I learned, don't burn your women's lit books. Just recycle them or sell them on
much easier. You actually can make a better money just selling. What bookstore buys them?
I was drunk. I don't know. It was
I don't know. Trust me. I mean, we won't get into my drunk stories, but again.
Oh, that's great. So, but what do you think about this? I kind of shared my thought about how the first half should go. Where do you see Brady and Rodgers matching up here against these defenses?
I say this is more of a grinded out type trench war game. Really, the first game was like that until Aaron Rodgers threw a pick six in the second quarter of that in that week 6 meeting. And it went from Packers dominating the first quarter and a half to the Buccaneers just flipped a switch and it was over. Like it went from 14-10 to a big lead once the Bucs were up by 10 and Rodgers trying to pass his way back into it, he's got Devontae Adams and that's it. I mean, Lazard he's okay. I mean, MVS is a ghost for 99% of the season. Tunyon's a good tight end, but I mean, he's coverable. He's just a good athlete. It comes down to if it's a close game, I lean Rodgers. If the Packers get out to a lead, I think that Brady has the weapons to bring them back. It's going to be a hold on tight kind of game where I see it kind of in the 20s for each team. I'm going to pick the under in this game because I do think that both teams are going to really try to establish the run more than they did the first game. And that's saying something since the Bucs ran all over Green Bay the first game. But if the Bucs get out in front again, they'll put their foot on their throats and knock them out again.
But what do you think about Antonio Brown being out for this game? How do you think that impacts Tom Brady, if anything, or do you think it just consolidates targets to Gronk, maybe opens up Scotty Miller?
No, I don't think that Brady needs Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown needs Brady. He needed Brady to put him on the team and to get him that $100,000 bonus at the end of the year. Brown's been a good option for him, but he's got so many other options. I mean, Evans is banged up, but he always plays and he's always a red zone threat. Godwin's always going to get open out of the slot. They can't stop those guys. Gronk, if he's actually running routes, is pretty tough to stop too. We saw him really get into shape and hit his stride late in the year, and the Bucs are good. I mean, they've
done a good job optimizing on what they have. Is the thing,
and their defensive coordinator,
they're
Todd
rotating
Bowles.
the crap out of players. Yeah. They're it's a frustrating team, but they're doing what they need to succeed. So
yeah, and if I was a betting man, I would say Todd Bowles gets the Houston job over Eric Bieniemy because of the job he's done with that defense, scheming. Just last week, we saw Michael Thomas with or without an ankle injury, which is. I mean, he didn't look like he was hurting against the Bears.
Right.
And so I think
when we're all hurt.
you put Carlton Davis, who was running 80% on a groin injury on him, and shut him out. And then you hear about more of the ankle problems and the upcoming surgeries look at Jamal Adams had surgery on his shoulders, his fingers. I mean, all these guys are just walking wounded. Yeah. And it's the ones that dig deep and have that intestinal fortitude to power through, like Carlton Davis. Those are the guys that are going to win games for you. And Todd Bowles has always put his defense in the best situation.
I love Vita Vea back too. I just want to be clear about that. I think that's so awesome.
It's huge.
Yeah. So how does that impact the running game that the Packers are going to? You think they'll be adapting it more for passes, maybe to Jamal Williams, maybe more Aaron Jones screens, or because the Bucs are number one against the rush. How are they going to combat them? What do you think the strategy is going to be? Just unleash Aaron Rodgers?
That's the tipping point of this entire game. If the Packers run blocking is as good as it has been all year, they're going to win. And if they get shut down by Vita Vea and everybody else, we're talking about probably one of the best run stopping linebacking cores. Linebacking cores without Vita Vea, we're shutting the run down. You add a big presence there. Yeah,
it's really, really I think people forget this guy is good. This isn't your average. He's very, very good.
Yeah, he plays one gap and two gap interchangeably.
Yeah. If you can tie up those big hosses in the trenches and then get White, Barrett, David, you get them flying around the football.
That
linebacking core. I'm actually fading, and we'll talk about we get into our DFS plays in a little bit, but I am fading Aaron Jones in most of the lineups I built that are for cash. Yeah, I don't have him in there. He could definitely be a GPT bust out, but at 6,500, I can't get up there.
They're pushing him out. You see it every season. It's going to happen.
But they've never featured him. They've never.
Right.
Since he's been in the league, they've never said, Aaron Jones, you are our running back, period.
And
it's always been the Jamal show. They got a rookie for no reason. Yeah.
They don't care. So I don't think he'll be back. So I can't imagine they're just going to use him as horribly as they have.
So with that being said, who would you want to pivot to if you do have a back in this game? You thinking Williams? You thinking A.J. Dillon? Where would your backfield bucks go?
I would do Dillon, but
yeah.
I'm definitely not trusting the other goosey over there, but I think that Dillon has proved to be. I think he could very much be. He could come through even next season. I think that he is proving to be someone that is here for a long time. I think that I don't care whatever happened. Did he get injured or something? He kind of hurt his calf. Who knows? But
it's a quad, but it's a minor quad strain. So
I think this game I'm seeing a lot of Tanyan. I think this is going to be a big Tanyan game. So that's someone that I'm definitely putting this reads Tanyan to me. I don't know what it is, but it's screaming it.
Yeah. But Bo knows that I put Tanyan in my lineup against him. I didn't put in Kelsey. And I think that Kelsey's going to outscore him, but I think for the price difference, it's
tell her what I did.
Oh, okay. Well, which part of what you did? The whole Kansas City stack that you did?
That and involving Tanyan.
Oh, you have Tanyan too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has.
And Kelsey.
He copied my double.
I don't even know what I have in that one league I'm in with you. I haven't even looked at who is on that team yet. It's a bad idea. Okay. Fuck. I'm just realizing how bad of an idea that was. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That team's not that bad.
No.
It couldn't be more average. You know that person that you meet and they're like lettuce. They remind you of a piece of lettuce. They have nothing to offer you. That's right. It's just we're good. We're not bad. We're okay. If we're there
until you leave us out a little bit too long, and then we're just wilty.
Wilty. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, please keep
Devin Singletary on that team. That's what it's.
Now I'm sweating because I forgot.
Probably.
No, I don't. But
no. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one guy I want to throw up in my mouth because I put him on my team. Is Devin Singletary. I'm just praying to God he gets more than 10 touches this week.
Well, he could
I'm
vulture.
going to tell you guys later what trivia question I got wrong, but I'm going to see if you guys guess it. I wrote it down because I wanted to ask you guys because you won't get it right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
We won't.
It sounds great. I love these kind of things. I'm definitely going to get it wrong. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, someone will.
Oh, that's good. Well, what about the quarterback matchup in the other game? We talked a little bit about Brady and Rodgers and what they're kind of going to offer and the air it out options that are going to go there. The game that has the biggest total at 54 right now. It was bet up 4 points from 50 when it first opened. It's going up. What do you think, Steffi? Would you? What do you look for this matchup?
So my thing is, everyone can say whatever they want. I think that to say that the Bills' defense is so gross and awful and it's horrible, they did not play bad last weekend. Okay, so everyone settle down. The defense played very well. It's not a big deal. We don't need to have a panic attack about it. But something I would have a panic attack about is the fact that Josh Allen did not look. He was. It was. He just needs to take a deep breath. I mean, he's like really getting rid of the ball way too fast, like almost where I don't even know if you can have a cognitive thought.
His
it's
hands
like
are
looking
shaking.
wincy. It's looking wincy and it's scaring me. Like, that's so cool. You can throw a ball downfield, but he's not going in my lineup this week. I'll tell you that. I think they'll win, but he freaks me out this week.
Well, you saw that last year in the Texans game where he's running with the football and he goes, "What do I do with my hands?" And he just drops the football.
So part of it is like, I feel bad because I think I want to give them more credit is also Stephon, he was being covered very well. So you can argue that he wasn't able, but it's still, he's like throwing the ball. So it was like, you have more time. It's okay.
Yeah,
Let's breathe and then do that. Yeah. So I'm still taking the Bills, but it's probably because I bet too much money on them.
But what about you? Who do you think comes out ahead as the best QB in this matchup? Against two defenses that are better than their board.
So medically speaking, in my opinion, it's got to be Allen. I think that they're rushing Mahomes back. It actually really makes me uncomfortable. The way I know Bo is shaking his head at me, and that's okay. But it's the way he's. Oh my God! I
don't even think he had an actual concussion. I think he failed protocol because he got his carotid artery pressed. He passed out for a moment, and he was woozy when he got up too fast. We lost Steffi.
You froze her with that take. It was just so fire that
that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Frozen fire, hot fire. I don't know. Cold fire. Well, here's the thing. I've had a experience like that where I was knocked out unconscious from a sleeper hold.
Yeah, me too.
I had a headache the next day too. It didn't feel great. But you know what? I survived. I made it. I wasn't concussed. I know that. So,
but you are woozy when you get up. When you come to, you're not all there. And if you got a neurologist pointing the light in your eyes, you're not going to pass that test on the sideline. They're going to take your helmet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's no way he would have passed all those thresholds if he had an actual concussion by now. It's only Friday, and he was cleared earlier today. He was already on Tuesday and Wednesday was clearing thresholds, and that never happens till Thursday or Friday anyway. So I don't know. I don't think he actually had a concussion. I think he had lost consciousness because when he didn't even hit the ground. He was being held up by his throat, and his momentum took him towards the ground, but he stopped short of the ground. So I really don't believe that his skull was jarred in any way. But yeah, he got choked out on it. It happened really fast, but I don't think he was conscious when he did finally hit the ground.
Well, and there's also what you said too is interesting is that the angle was underneath and up. That's not something that you're used to getting.
You never see that in football, really.
No, you never do. You don't even see that in MMA wrestling, which I'm a big fan of, which I watch all the MMA. That angle that he was under the neck and lifting up he was leveraging off of the helmet, being able to do that because of the helmet. And so I am less concerned about that than I would be normally.
I think Mahomes is going to be at 100% plus. He's going to be hyped up, ready to go, and he's got all the weapons there.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a sight to behold.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get Steffi back in here. She had a little connection issue. She fell off, and so as soon as she gets back in, we'll throw her back in. Right now, though, we're still beautiful. That's the thing. We forgot to mention to Steffi while she was here that she's on the sexiest show, DFS show in the biz.
For now.
For now, it's a caveat. But she definitely didn't bring the show down. We can definitely say that
she's at least the second best guest we've ever had.
She at the very least, despite the Giants thing, which I know knocks her off a few pegs for you, which here's the thing. My brother-in-law is a Giants fan. And, I know I love people who are Giants fans, love Steffi, love Snacks. They're insufferable. They're insufferable. I know. I know this because I lived as a brother-in-law to him still. I will taunt him, and bad fumbles will happen or bad things will happen. I'll just send him a text. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. If you want to get him going, just talk about Tiki Barber fumbling over and over and over again, or Eli Manning having one accurate pass in his whole career and 2 Super Bowl rings. That's probably going to get him into the Hall, even though he doesn't deserve it because he's ridden on his older brother's coattails his whole life.
Yeah, he's always, whenever they do suck, he's upset. When they suck, he'll be like, they suck. I hate them. They suck. So
he just looks bewildered. Even I follow him on Instagram now, and he just looks bewildered doing everything. It's
not great. Let's just be honest. And hey, the Cowboys, the Washington football team, and the Eagles, that's the most dysfunctional division in football. Lord. Crazy, man. What a
My team hasn't been good since I was 10 years old. What does that mean?
My team hasn't been good since I was 12 years old. It's been 30 years. And I grew up with 3 championships. I thought, man, we're the Patriots, And then Dan Snyder bought the Washington football team, and he ruined it. Hey, Dan, here's the thing. Don't love them anymore. You love them so much you bought them and ruined them. It's like seeing a beautiful girl, going and marrying her, and then ruining her life. No.
Well, and I love how Dan Snyder doesn't change or even entertain changing the most racist team name in the history of team names until his sponsors pull money from him.
Right. Until he's losing the cha-ching.
Yeah. And so speaking of sponsors, we're brought to you by hotboxbatch.com, home of Hotbox Gourmet Small Batch Hot Sauce. It's hot.
Oh, it is hot. I got my sticker right here. Put it up there.
I'll have to send you a Smoke Shack barbecue rub sticker with your next order.
Oh, I can't wait. I definitely want one of those. This year, the last year, hotboxbatch.com saved me and my body. I've been addicted to cheese my whole life, and it's just tearing me up. So now I can eat cheese because the hotness mixes with the cheese, and my body can deal with it. So
neutral.
Thank you. You're the man. You're saving me. I can't breathe when I walk up the stairs and my heart hurts. But besides that, I'm living the dream,
Yeah. I'm with you 100% there. Climbing stairs is no fun.
No, it's not fun at all. So let me ask you a question. How do you want to attack the rest of this? We kind of looked at the quarterback situation here. Do we want to tackle it by position? You want to go game by game? How would you like to break this down?
Let's go by game. I like to go and break down each team and kind of get a feel for game flow that could happen. I kind of have an idea. I mean, even if I'm wrong, I still want to tell a story. I want a narrative with my lineup builds, especially on a 2-game slate. You want to kind of tell a story. And I really wasn't successful with my showdown slate on DraftKings until I started doing that, where I was like, hey, this is what I think is going to happen. This is how the game is going to go. If I was to script this game, this is how it would go. Yeah. And until I started doing that with Showdown Slate, which is 1 game and you're picking a captain spot, it's really similar. You're not picking a captain spot, but you have a limited amount of players to play, and they priced everything down low enough to where you can pretty much pick whoever you want. Yeah. You can't fit all the stud wide receivers in there with Kelsey. It just doesn't work that way, but you're still able to pretty much fit everybody you want to play in there. And so that being said, you can't be afraid of leaving salary on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter if you leave 100 or 1,500 on the board. If you have your guys, you have your guys.
Yeah.
You say, how is this game going to go?
So speaking of that Tampa Bay Green Bay game, the way I see it is more of a passing game for Aaron Rodgers, more of a running game for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Big picture. That's kind of how I envision it. Am I off compared to yours? Where are you thinking this?
No, and I'll take that one step further. I agree with you, and I think that favors the Bucks. Yeah, because that's the same flow that happened in Week 6. Yeah, where the Packers came out, they didn't establish the run, and when Aaron Rodgers started off pretty hot, they looked pretty good. They got off to a little lead in the first quarter. Second quarter hits, they started getting greedy. They took the out route for a pick 6. Tampa started coming back. They took the lead, and then Aaron Rodgers trying to force his way back through 2 more picks, and that game was not even close. Tampa Bay leaned on with the running game, kept the ball away from Aaron Rodgers in the second half, and it wasn't a fun game to watch after halftime because Tampa Bay had it in hand the whole time. Ronald Jones was there, not Fournette, and it was just Ronald Jones pounding it down their throat. And Brady really didn't have to do much.
No, he did not.
That's their ticket to winning that game, is to repeat the game flow of Week 6 to where they force Aaron Rodgers to get a little greedy in the passing game and to take some chances. He's always going to do that, but that's the genius of Todd Bowles. Is last week they knew they were going to try to force feed Michael Thomas, and so they just stuck their best corner on him and said, hey, give up 4-yard passes, but don't let him get loose. Yeah. And Carlton Davis did even better than that. He held him to 4 targets and not a single catch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and on the other side, didn't Bunting have an interception when he was on Michael Thomas as well? So, I mean,
he was on a tip, but he was in the right place, right angle. Yeah. And Sean Murphy Bunting had his best game of the year in the most important spot.
Yeah, and he needed to because he's not played outstanding all season, by the way.
It was only his second interception of the season, so that tells you a lot with how much he's been targeted. To only have 1 interception before that one, he's been picked on.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, I have Ronald Jones up, and things have changed. Injuries do come and go. It's how the NFL works. The last time he played against Green Bay, though, he did have 113 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 points. In this matchup, I have Fournette, playoff Lenny, kind of is the thing that we're going with here. Would it be crazy? This right here is $3 in the $100K to first, 20 max entry. I'm thinking, would it be nuts to do a stack of Fournette and Jones in here? What do you think about doubling them up, or is that just like too contrarian and too stupid to even think of?
My tournament build has both of them in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the same tournament.
Well, then
it's not crazy at all. It's not crazy at all.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Let's not copy. Let's do this. Let's pick a different quarterback that we want that's in your lineup. Who did you put for your quarterback in that lineup?
I believe Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay. So would you rather go Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes? Because I'm not going to stack up both running back and Tom Brady, obviously.
No. You wouldn't do that. I would say Mahomes. If we're being honest, Aaron Rodgers is fully capable of having a huge game. Yeah. But so is Drew Brees last week. And I'm not going to say that Aaron Rodgers has a low opportunity to have a huge game and to win and go to the Super Bowl, but I'm saying Patrick Mahomes has a higher likelihood of that happening. And really the price difference isn't that much. And if you're saying, look back at the rest of the season, when Mahomes was on the main slate, he was always over 8,000.
Yeah, no, he was. He was always. I like this because I do want to pair him up with a few of his different weapons, and then also do a run back, maybe even a double run back in that game.
And you're spending under 10,000 for both of your running backs, so I think we can spend up on some Chiefs big play guys because if you're thinking you're going to win a tournament, what better way than to have the most explosive offense and have multiple pieces there?
Yeah. Here's the question. Do you want to do Tyreek Hill or Kelsey, or do you want to do both?
I'd rather lean Kelsey.
Lean Kelsey. Okay. So if we put Kelsey in there, we still have about $5,000 per player to pick from. We're not getting totally crushed. We have pay down options. Let's do what you did. I really like the Tunyon in the flex, the double stack. I really like that.
I don't want to miss on Tunyon because I do feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to focus on holding Davante Adams like they did in Week 6. He only had 12 points. It was the second lowest point total of the season. That was not an accident, and that was against game flow. Yeah. You would think that when Aaron Rodgers throws it more than 40 times that you would think, oh, Davante Adams had himself a big game. He did.
No.
But he did throw a touchdown to Tunyon.
Yes, he did. Well, with that being said, let's say we ice Adams out of this. I know it's kind of controversial, but you got to make it.
It's not. He's 8,000. And even last week when he scored that quick touchdown against Ramsey, he still didn't hit value.
Yeah.
At 8,600, he had 21 points.
Yep.
That's not enough for his salary. At 8,000, you still need 24 plus.
Yeah, that is true. And he's been 16, 46. That's against Tennessee, though, in a huge shoot. 11 against Carolina the week before. He has
his worst one.
Yeah, and I mean he's got other ones that are just ridiculous as well. 12 and I think 6. Didn't he get hurt against Detroit in that game? Yeah, he did. So he had 3 for 3. So I think it's definitely something that I'm not going to do in all my lineups, but I like fading him in this one. What do you think about Diggs? Is Diggs just a lock for you in this situation, or am I just loving Diggs so much?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so
don't overthink it. He's 7,000, which is an absolute steal for somebody who's scoring maybe one less point per game than Adams is.
Yeah.
And he's a full 1,000 cheaper.
No, I definitely love Diggs as well. What do you think about Chris Godwin?
Love him.
That leaves us with 4,700. I put in the Chiefs defense. I'm going to take them out real quick. Do we want to pay down and go Bucks defense here since we kind of went with the step?
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Okay. That's something
because I still look at all 4 of these defenses in equal quagmire. These are 4 of the top 5 offenses in the entire league. If the NFL was scripting this outcome, this is the 4 teams they would have. You have everybody's darling Bills. You have everybody's the defending champions with Mahomes, who may or may not have had a concussion, but he's cleared now. You have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. You have the defending champs still in the tournament. You have this year's upcoming team, the Bills. You have Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady for the first time in the playoffs ever. We're talking 6 rings against 1 ring. Probably should have more if it wasn't for McCarthy all those years. It's
have more.
It's literally, this is a storybook championship weekend for the NFL. They're going to get massive ratings. They love every bit of this, and I'm here for it.
No, I love that. Here's a question I do have. In our wide receiver slot, we have, because we put Tunyon in our flex, is there anybody else you'd want in our flex, like a Gronk paying down or a Dawson Knox or anybody like that so we could get up to another wide receiver? I don't know if we're going to get – here's the thing. We can't get up to Hill. I don't think we can even get up to him if we wanted to. I don't think we can. Like Tyreek's the only one that we could put in here. After that, we could get everybody else except for Hill and Adams.
So what I'd rather do is maybe go away from Godwin and go with somebody with more upside, like John Brown or
we can put both of them in there.
Yeah, we can afford both of them. But I'm thinking, do we want to double stack the Chiefs? I kind of want to throw a McCole Hardman in there.
Oh.
If we're not going with Hill, we might as well go with his twin.
Does that give? Let's see here in our flex. If we want to,
we could 6,500.
We could go Godwin in the flex instead of Tunyon,
or we could go Godwin instead of Brown back if we go Hardman. But I'm just trying to figure out how much money we have. I don't want to leave $2,900 out there.
Yeah. Well, let's look and see if we went with Tunyon and then we went with.
Oh yeah, we got 1,800 left. It's way too much.
I mean, here's the thing. That could be the differentiation you need in these games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be.
Do you see any? I mean,
here's the problem. I don't want to get up to Mike Evans because he's going to be on Jair Alexander, so I don't think that's a good play. I am double stacking the running backs already, so I already have 2 players in there.
Godwin. I'm not sure about having Godwin in there with both of those running backs.
Yeah, I could pivot off of one of the running backs and keep Godwin in. If I did that, I could pick anybody I wanted to on the slate. I could go Aaron Jones. I could go Williams. I could go Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
If I went Fournette, that still gives me a lot of money. I can pick anybody but Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's kind of the dilemma I ran into with my Thunderdome build with Mahomes and that triple stack that I did was finding enough salary to put who I wanted in there.
Yeah.
So I was either leaving myself with nothing or I was leaving myself with over 1,000.
Yeah.
So getting Tunyon out of there, you're looking at Fournette, Jones. I love the upside on both of those for a tournament. And Tunyon, as a tournament pick, not that solid. He's kind of a touchdown or nothing kind of guy, and he doesn't get a lot of volume.
What do you think about either like Gronk or Scotty Miller or Gabriel Davis? Because
I like Scotty Miller.
Yeah, I do too.
Even though I think Gabriel Davis is going to score a touchdown, he might only get 4 targets. And we've seen before the Bucs signed Antonio Brown and when Evans was out or when Godwin was out, when any one of those guys was out, Brady was peppering Scotty Miller on deep balls.
Yeah,
he was actually finding him. Brady been chucking the rock down the field all season long, and Scotty Miller's been vulturing deep touchdowns when the other guys are on. Like one guy's out, but the rest of the guys are there, and it's Scotty Miller who catches the bomb for the touchdown. And that with Antonio Brown out, I mean that really opens up those vertical routes for Scotty Miller.
Would you want to pivot off of Godwin then, having $2 and maybe go to John Brown or Lazard, or are we good sticking with having Miller and Godwin in this build?
I'm fine with it because Godwin's going to get the volume and a pretty high touchdown upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that if we're being honest with ourselves, Tom Brady's pretty smart. He's going to stay away from that Jair Alexander side all game. He's not going to attack that. He doesn't have the arm strength to run most of the routes that are going to beat Alexander, which are your man-to-man routes, your curl routes, your out routes that are man beaters. Jair Alexander is just an eraser. On those routes, he's just locking everybody down.
Yeah.
He had Pro Football Focus grade was 92.1. You're not completing passes against him, let alone big plays. So Evans is if Marshawn Lattimore can shut Evans down, Jair Alexander is he's gonna be an afterthought. Brady's gonna look left for a split second, say, whoop, he's not open, and he's gonna look to the slot and he's gonna look deep to Scotty Miller.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like
or
that.
He's gonna check down to Fournette.
And here's what I like is that I have a Mahomes shoot in here. So I've got Mahomes, Hardman, Kelsey. And then I have the run back with Diggs if that goes out. And then the only thing I don't have any besides Aaron Jones. I don't have any other Green Bay pieces in the Battle of the Bays here.
I'm okay with that because I don't see too many opportunities for big plays for Green Bay this week. I just don't. I'm on the Bucs. I'm on the Chiefs, but I'm on the Bucs this week. I'm not betting against Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that team is better coached. I mean, LaFleur is a great offensive mind. He does a good job scheming people open. but there's a talent deficiency on that offense. Without Bakhtiari at left tackle, they've been run blocking well. They're not going to be able to run the ball that well against the Bucs front, especially with Vita Vea back. That's a huge difference.
Yeah. And I mean, in this tournament play here with Aaron Jones, I'm hoping he catches some passes out of the backfield. I think that's the best way to attack that Bucs defense, honestly, is to use it in the West Coast style of passing, being your running attack, honestly. So that's kind of where I'm
and if there's anybody who's going to bust a long run against a tough defensive front, it's going to be him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to lock this in. I like it. I'm excited. I might play this in a couple more contests. This is not something that I've been leaning towards. I've been picking Josh Allen primarily as my QB. I've been doing a little bit of Aaron Rodgers as well, but I like incorporating more of what I don't think is going to happen, because it's what we don't think that happens that is our blind spots that we could go, oh yeah, obviously I should have thought of that.
Upside on every position. We have playoff Lenny. I love playoff Lenny. I mean, people forget 3 years ago what he did for the Jags. Their quarterback was Blake fucking Bortles. And Leonard Fournette put an entire franchise, I mean, with a great defense also, but on the offensive side, the entire offense was Leonard Fournette. And he was a touchdown machine.
Oh, yeah.
Long touchdowns, short touchdowns, it didn't matter. Give Lenny the ball. Playoff Lenny is a different animal.
I like this lineup even more now that I just look and see all of each one of these players has except for maybe Scotty Miller and Hardman too, there's a 50% chance I see Fournette getting a touchdown, Diggs getting a touchdown, Godwin, Kelsey getting touchdowns. You got 4
Shout out Mecole Hardman for being our guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably one of the most favorite players of the show. NimbleWnumbers.com is a huge fan of Mecole Hardman as a person, as a player.
Yeah.
And I want to root for the guy in my tournament lineup.
Oh, me too, man. I agree.
He scored double digits for me against you. I didn't think that he would be the deciding factor in anything, but he had a great game last week.
Yes, he did. Those jet sweeps are hard to stop.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, he's got burners for days. I don't think he's as quick as Cheetah, but he's every bit as fast.
Oh, yeah. I love Hardman as a person, too. And, if we're looking at, like, the patron saints of the show who we love, there's, Rachel Evan Wood. Don't never forget her. She's my favorite. And then I could say Mecole Hardman. Those are the two people.
Yeah. And Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, and Hayden Hurst. Yeah, I forgot Hayden Hurst. Yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch of great people that we love. And so, the cool part about, Chalk Block is we can talk about what we want, and that's, what we want. We didn't get to talk ownership because, honestly, right now, there's not ownership using the tool that I have. And I don't even know if ownership's going to matter. I think, like you said before in your write-up, you got to pick the touchdowns this week. It's all about you need to get every single touchdown that you can in the position to win. And that's what we're looking for. I'm not even going to worry about ownership right now. I'm worried about touchdowns. So, no.
And last time I checked, Patrick Mahomes is pretty good at scoring touchdowns.
He's a bit skilled in that. He's got a lot of that.
Touchdown biased.
Yeah. Well, I'm biased. I like this lineup. I particularly like that it's got 3 Chiefs in it. I do like the Chiefs offense too, and I love Stephon Diggs, man. What a baller. So I want to see this. I want to see these games. And so I'm going to give my prediction. I think that it's going to be Packers and then Bills. I've shared that before.
So we're the opposite.
We're the opposite. And so I'm not going to change, but I like your vision because I can definitely see it happening. This is what is crazy is that in that game, that first game with Aaron Rodgers, he was crushing them. They were moving up and down
the first quarter.
Yeah, right. And so I told Mike, the main thing that took a hit there was that guy's ego. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's an arrogant guy. He doesn't deal with it.
He thought he threw a perfect pass on that pick 6, but the corner that jumped the route had seen that on tape. It was a lot like that Rams pick 6 on the wide receiver screen. Is the quarterback? There's no way a quarterback is predicting that a corner is going to jump a wide receiver screen because it never happens.
Right.
He's more worried about not getting blocked out of the play to make the tackle.
Yeah.
And he recognized it so fast that he got in the way of the pass. And I think that it surprised him because he even got there a little early and had to catch the ball behind him a little bit. But I mean, you're talking defensive, watching film and translating it into making quick snap decisions.
Yeah.
That's what happened in that first game. When he threw that pick six, is he did throw a good pass, but that I believe it was one of their younger guys, Dylan, I think is one of their younger corners that jumped that route. He paid attention. Todd Bowles had him ready. He knew that was a sit down route in a zone, and he just watched Aaron Rodgers' eyes and took off for it. And if he would have missed on that, it's the 20-yard gain, 25-yard gain, and you're like, wow, Aaron Rodgers got a hose down there, and that's just Aaron Rodgers. But that the guy made a play and took it to the house, and what are you gonna do? I mean, that's sometimes you guys make plays on you, and it's not the other way around where Aaron Rodgers is going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
but he's not perfect. I mean, we saw a lot of pick sixes early this year from Tom Brady.
We did.
It's all about communication. It's all about understanding where your players are going to be.
Yeah. No, I like this lineup a lot. I might have to drop this one in the Millie Maker. We'll see. So, Millie. So anything else you want to get to tonight? Or we've been
wrap it up.
No, I think it's been great. We do want to thank Steffi, who she had to go earlier.
I think pleasure.
Yeah, we always love having guests on, and what she brings to our show was just added sexiness. We are the sexiest show in DFS
on the internet for now. Right. Yeah. We'll see you guys. Well, I don't know if we're going to be here next week. We'll have to figure out what to talk and see. Probably not, but Super Bowl in 2 weeks though.
Yeah, Super Bowl's in 2 weeks. I definitely would want to get back on and just do some DFS talk, and get into all the weeds. I've got $300 at least going into this weekend. I cannot wait to see what happens. Did you get my Nimble W numbers? The tournament I did for DraftKings. Did you get that one?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to drop that in the chat real quick. We do have some friends here. If anybody wants to get into that contest, it's only $10 and it's a top 5. I put it for 50. And so, the top 5, it's like a multiplier. You have a 1 in 10 chance of getting in there. Against Bo and me, you got a little bit less chance. But,
allegedly.
Right. We haven't actually won one of these things yet of our own. We've been up.
People have been beating up on us. Yeah, I mean, using the tools that they read in our articles.
I know, man.
Those bastards reading our stuff and taking ideas and beating us and taking our money. I appreciate it. Every one of you that have read my articles this year, it's absolutely humbling to hear you guys sound off on actually reading my stuff. It's like I never even imagined that, because most of Twitter's just like, oh, we're gonna push content, right, and you don't expect anybody to actually consume what you produce. But it's been absolute blessing to have everybody read my articles and give me actual feedback. Shout out Jen Piacenti, who read my article today and said how good it was, and I'm starstruck, because that's Jen from Fantasy Alarm. I mean, that's big. Those are big potatoes there.
I love that, because you're not a secret to me, but like you're like one of the best kept secrets in fantasy football. Like I know the truth. I get to enjoy it every week. I get to read through your stuff, and it is part of my process every week to get my basics. That's where I start with. And so it's pretty cool that you've impacted so many people. And here's what I'll do real quick. I will share Bo's latest and one of the last ones of this year, if not the last one, because I'm not sure we'll do a write-up for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Before you start, can I answer Duff's question?
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
Brad, you can definitely get a sticker with your next purchase. I'll throw in a couple of each. I have stickers coming out my ears because I order them in bulk. So yeah, definitely. You can stick one on your canteen water bottle, on your fridge, you name it. They're good, high quality label stickers. They'll stay put. The only thing they don't stick to is mason jars. I don't know why, but mason jars, they do not stick to mason jars to help to save your life. But that's definitely, Brad. Next time you place an order, you'll definitely get stickers thrown in there.
I love that. I love that. And I love this too. This little story here, all about being, ignorance being bliss, is perfect. I loved it. And
I literally did chant that to myself when I was thinking about, oh my God, I have no idea what's going on in the realm of football on Sunday, because I watched the Saturday games and then we left first thing in the morning for the cabin on Sunday morning. So I had no clue about any of the events. We went on a little hike around 4 p.m. here, and I got the thumbnails of the videos you sent me of Mahomes getting knocked out, but I didn't know the scores.
Yeah. Yeah, I just told you bad things were happening. You were like, what's going on?
Yeah, you didn't tell me anything about Michael Thomas just like shitting the bed for me. Because I would have beaten you pretty easily if Thomas had done anything.
So here's the thing. I was going up against Denny Carter in a little $10, back and forth. Not like our big $50 one, but I was down by like 6 points. I had Godwin left and Michael Thomas. I was like, I'm going to beat Denny easy. I lost by 0.04 of a point.
0.04.
0.04 because of Michael Thomas's early retirement party, which I loved it here in the line. This is my favorite one. It says, since we stayed at the family cabin in the woods of the Sierra Nevada mountains until Monday afternoon, I also spared myself Scott's best attempts at trash talking with my lock of the week. Michael Thomas decided he would be the gold watch at Drew Brees' retirement party. That line right there is
just throw him in the fucking box, put a bow on him. He's retired too.
Here you go. There it is.
Thanks for 20 years of service. Here's a gold watch. It's a useless wide receiver with bad ankles.
He ain't going to catch anything. As a matter of fact, he's going to ruin the game when you try to do an out route and you're going to lose. Now,
your gold watch actually doesn't have batteries. You have to buy those yourself.
It's made in America. Fuck you. Well, we're made in America. We love you. This is one of my favorite experiences this year has been reading your stuff. So please do check out Bo's stuff. We got plenty of time. The games are on Sunday, so you got time to read it all, take in, build those lineups. We'll see you in the DFS world, folks. We love you all. Have a great night. Peace.